Halkha Pesuka from Halkha leisrael for Monday, Parashat Toledot. We continue on the subject of the sanctity of the name of Hashem and to be careful not to erase them or not to treat them in a disrespectful manner. Keli she'haya Shem katuv alav. If you had a vessel, an object that the name of Hashem is written on that object, kotzetz et mekom Hashem, he cuts off the area where the name of Hashem is written, begonzo, and then you store it away, or you bury it, you put it with the shemot, with the those holy names that we are careful not to dispose of incorrectly. Va'afilu haya Hashem chakuk b'kni matachot, even if the name of Hashem was engraved on a vessel of metal, or b'chni zchuchit, or on a glass vessel, ve'iticha keli, and he didn't erase it. He just, let's say, he melts down that vessel. That's also okay. That also considered to have done a transgression that he would be liable for. Rather, he should cut the area where the name of Hashem is written, and he should put it away to go to Gniza. Also, however, if the name of Hashem is written on his flesh, on his skin, he would not be allowed to wash, and he would not be allowed to anoint that area. He would not even be allowed to stand in an unclean place because the name of Hashem would be in such a way not being dealt with in a respectful manner. What if he has a mitzvah to go to the mikveh, and he needs to dip his whole body, and part of his body has a name of Hashem? I've seen once a person that put the name of Hashem as a tattoo. That's two problems. First of all, a tattoo is not allowed. And number two, he has the name of Hashem, which makes it a problem when he goes into a place that is not clean, or even to stand when he is naked. So when he needs to do a tefillah of mitzvah, what if he had the name of Hashem written on his flesh, and he needs to go and dip into the mikveh? Korech alav gemi vetovel. He should bind around it, give me like a blade of grass, and by surrounding it that way, he would be able to do tevilah. Ve'im lo matzah gemi. What if he doesn't find any grass, any leaves to put around it? Mesabev bivgadav. He should take some of his clothing, put it around the area where the name of Hashem is written. Ve'lo yehadek, but he should not make it tight. Shelo yachutz, because if he tightens it, it will be a chatzitza, it will be an interposition between the water of the mikveh and the skin that needs to be all within the contact with water. So therefore, when he puts a piece of clothing around it, it should be loose. Because the only reason that you're supposed to wrap around it is so that he would not be naked with the name of Hashem being there, exposed while he's naked. If a person he destroys or he moves even one stone derech hashchata in a destructive manner from the altar in Bet HaMikdash, or min ha'echal, or from the echal, which is a sanctuary in Bet HaMikdash, or mish'ar azara, from the rest of the courtyard of the azara of the temple. Loke, he did a transgression that makes him liable to malkut. Shneimar ba'avodah zara, ki et mizbechotam titotzum. Because when the Torah speaks about idolatry, it says that you should destroy their altars. But whereas another pasuk says, Lo ta'asum ken l'Hashem Elokechem. You should not do that same way to Hashem your God. In other words, you destroy the altars of the idols, but you're the altar for Hashem or the Azara, etc. That is also has holiness, and that you cannot destroy, not even one little pebble from that, if you do it in a destructive way. Also, if a person was burning like sacred trees that were given to Bet HaMikdash, derech hashchata, did it in a destructive way, Loke is also liable to malkut, to the flogging. Shneimar v'asherehem tisrefun ba'esh, because the pasuk says that their trees, which is Asherai, was a kind of idol which was a tree, those tisrefun ba'esh should burn in fire. And it says, Lo ta'asun ken Hashem Elokechem. But you not do the same thing for Hashem Elokechem. So any sacred wood that was given to Bet HaMikdash, for instance, you're not allowed to burn it. Kitvei HaKodesh. In a destructive way, of course, there was wood that was put on the altar to burn the korbanot. That would be different. Kitvei HaKodesh, all the holy writings, Kulan, all of them, Perushehem and their commentaries, Beorehem, their translations, Asur lesorfam, and it's forbidden to burn them, or le'abedam, or to destroy them, bayad, actively, in other words, in an active manner. Bedan bayad, the person who destroys them actively, makin oto makat mardut, he gets flogged, a kind of flogging of rebellion. This is different from Malkut Arba'im, 39 lashes that we spoke about last week. Bamei dvarim amurim, what are we speaking about here? Bekitvei HaKodesh, when we're talking about holy writings, Shekshtavam leisrael, that a Jew wrote them, Bikdusha, in sanctity. Aval apikoros, if there was a heretic, one who's not a believer in Hashem, who's a Jew, Shekatav Sefer Torah, who wrote a Sefer Torah, Sodfim oto, you would burn that Sefer Torah, im askarot shebo, even though the name of Hashem is written in it, mipnei she'eno ma'min b'kedushat Hashem, because that heretic, that apikoros, that person who wrote it, doesn't believe in the sanctity of Hashem, v'lo ktavo lishmo, he didn't write it for the sake of Hashem, ela shu ma'ale bedato, shehu kish'ar advarim, because that person who wrote that Sefer Torah, for him, the divine name, there's no Kedusha, he just wrote it like any one of the other things that he's writing. And since his mind was that way, that he didn't have the idea of the Kedusha, on the opposite, he's an apikoros, he's a heretic. Lo nitkadesh Hashem, the name of Hashem was not sanctified. Mitzvah lesorfo, it's a mitzvah to burn such a scroll of Torah, kedei shelo laniach Hashem la'apikosim, so that we would not leave a name for these heretics or their deeds. However, a goy shekatav et Hashem gonzim oto. But if a non-Jew wrote the divine name, one of the divine names that we spoke about, you still would do genizah for it. You would have to bury it or deal with it in a respectful manner. Also, any holy writings that became old, and nowadays that issue comes into play many times, because it would cost more to rebind a book than to buy a new book. It used to be that binding was fairly cheap compared to buying a new book. Now it's the reverse. You get a craftsman to do book binding, he would charge you a lot more than buying a new book. So you have many times, holy writings or different sidurim that, all these, or even there was like Divrei Torah, that type of thing, that were written, that became old, or Shektavan Goy, even if a Goy wrote them, Yiganzu, they should be stored away or buried like we do Gnizah every couple of years or so of Bli Neder. We did it once here in the traditional way.
You have a place here where you gather it?
We have a place. We have a place upstairs in our storage. We have boxes, and we collect them. And then please bring them. Anyone that has Shemot, don't hesitate to bring them. And we did a couple of years ago, we did a whole ceremony of Gnizah, the way they used to do it back in Morocco, and with sewing these kind of bags that look like pillows, and it was done with a lot of kavod and respect for Kitvei HaKodesh. So, but in there, I'm going to check if we have enough quantity. We might do it already this year, or maybe the following year. And that was Halkha Pesuka from Halkha leisrael for Parashat Toledot here at Habnim in Valley Village, California. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.